So I cannot so much talk about the IT sector in Germany as a market for Vietnamese company, because Digitex is a BPO company, business process outsourcing, and our market is actually not the IT industry in Germany. Our market is any branches in any industries in Germany. That could be banks, insurances, automotive industry, or also transport. Germany is actually a white spot still in outsourcing, because outsourcing began with the English-speaking England or US, and also French-speaking France outsourced to their countries like Morocco, where the people speak in French. Germany began very much later to outsource this business. That's why the market is very attractive for Vietnamese companies. There's not a competition to have push away. There's white spots, and we sit actually not on language skills like Philippines or India, the classical outsourcing countries. We sitting here on IT business, on intelligent software, what helps us to fulfill the needs of customer in Germany. Regarding to IT people in the IT business, I would like to make a difference between software development, IT administration, that includes hardware and network administration, and people who can lead services, or a company who provides services in the IT sector, like BPO business from Digitex. I think software developer, they're coming a lot every year on the market, but it is more a big amount on average and good developer. They are not these developers who often are needed by Google to develop artificial intelligence or these things. In the IT administration, that includes hardware and networking, the people are good, but they have a lack on language skills, especially when they're working for companies like for Germany. We have to insist that they can talk with our customers, so at least English or German language skills are necessary. What is brilliant in Vietnam is people to find here for BPO, for business process outsourcing, because they must not be the high-skilled, talented people from the university. We need actually these people who comes from the colleges or from the universities, even not from the universities. We can use them for our business. That's why we provide this kind of services here. And our view is not to look for India or for Singapore for the software development. We're looking for instance, Philippines, where more than 300,000 people working in the BPO industry, and the same kind of people we can find here in Vietnam actually easily. There was a famous speech from Gary Lineker, a famous striker from England. He said 2 teams playing football, and in the end the Germans always win. That was in the 90s and 80s. And it's not so valid anymore, but Germany wins their last World Cup, and I hope also in the European Championship they're getting under the last 4. What German football is actually the mirror of also a little bit German industry. So you have individuals, they understand what they're doing very well, but they can work as a team, and they accept the rules and the leadership of the coach. So there is not a big bunch of individuals who are trying to do only the best. There's a structure and a leading. And actually we following here a little bit also the system. We like to have individuals with creative moments and ideas, but what we want to provide is handcraft. We say German quality made in Vietnam. That means you buy a service like a Mercedes or a BMW, you can trust on the service that they have a good quality. So I guess even when Germany wins not the next European Championship in 4 weeks. Germany will be one on the leading team, and we will see there will not be the superstars like Ronaldo or whoever. That will be a strong team. The first stage was 15 years ago. Actually, to invest in IT business in Vietnam was never really difficult. Vietnam, the DPI, Department Planning Investment, make it easy as an investor to make a company, to find facilities. Lucky for us, at the same time, was QTSC, Quantum Software City, founded, and there was no big hurdles to do that. The bigger challenge is to say we are IT service provider out of Vietnam, because Vietnam was pretty unknown as a country to provide IT services. So we had to work with our customer to say, Vietnam, the war's over, so we have internet already, and we can do that as good as in China, in Philippines, or in India. That was actually the hurdles. What I wish for Vietnam generally is that investors, for instance, person who live long here, getting, for instance, permanent resident cards, so are not only a temporary member of the Vietnamese society, could better be on a long run permanent members of the business, of the Vietnam culture, of the Vietnam society, and that is one of the things I'm waiting for, and I'm expecting also from the government, who changes a little bit in this direction.
15 years.
Also, I think Digitex, as one of the first one who provide BPO business out of Vietnam, open a little bit the eyes. What kind of industry is it? This park here is a software city. It's not IT business city, and that was based on the belief 15 years ago, IT business is the same like software, but you cannot really separate it anymore. And I think that Digitex showed in the last 15 years that Vietnam is a brilliant country to do services, not only produce software, doing services for the rest of the world. Of course, we can be one of the members who works for US and for the English or French speaking world, but Vietnam looks for the opportunity to be alternative country for Japanese industry, not only China. Vietnam offer everything what the Japanese would like to have from a country for outsourcing, and also for European countries that are not speaking English and French, let's say for German languages. And I think Digitex was the first company here who did it. And that causes also, now we have some service provider, we have some more, and we don't reach the number like in the Philippines of 300,000, but this is my hope and my wish. We have this in the near future, and that would also boost software company, that would boost all related services, IT services, network services, hardware services as well. It would be very nice for Vietnam when we're getting here a little bit stronger. Also, information security items is a perfect example how software, IT admin business and BPO business fits together. When I look back 15 years ago, companies expected out of Vietnam a low price, quite good quality, and data security was not a big item. Now is the different way. People ask, can we do it in Vietnam? How safe is Vietnam? What is actually property rights? How is this handled? Do they have rules and regulation who I can save and I can ensure my data are safe? And that is in fact developed very well. So for Europe, and Europe has the most strict data security laws all over the world. We are certificated. We invite the companies to visit Vietnam, to visit the company, make the audit by themselves, and it works actually quite perfect. find the people here who can protect companies, who can configure firewalls or router, whatever, that customer feels safe to send their data here in Vietnam. And also Vietnam as a country, as a stable political country, makes that easy that investors from other countries or customer believe that the data here are safe and they are not violated by civil wars or religious conflicts or something. That's why I believe Vietnam is still a very upcoming country in this kind of business, in the IT business, and I hope so in the BPO business as well. Also there's a big vision that we here on this location and as a BPO company are so important as one of the big enterprises BPO in India, in China or the Philippines. That is our vision where we want to go. For Digitex we have a plan what we want to do in the next 5 years. So we will add a customer care center, we will have voice, we will offer voice service as well as good as our non-voice services. That means we don't want to make only the documents. We want also be a service provider for incoming calls. People have a problem with their banking card or with their telephone or with their insurance policy. So